again. This time, my tarot cards I packed in my bag because I learned an important lesson, but I had essentially a full search for a crochet hook. But I was allowed to keep it in the end, so all's well that ends well. One very notable change is that when I went through passport control and through security, I had all my little chats in Spanish. And one person at the security said you have to speak to her in English. And he said, no, she speaks Spanish. And they all looked a bit shocked, and I looked a bit shocked as well, I think. I forget that it's slowly getting better. But yeah, and then when I had my body search and all of my bags, so it's just like, yeah, I've got loads of wool for crochet and all sorts of random stuff and crystals. She pulled up my crystals and she was like, oh, how lovely. And then she said, have you got scissors? And I've got a really small pair of scissors because you're allowed scissors, but the crochet hook was the problem. But anyway, it was all in Spanish, which surprised me. I feel like I must be slowly getting better. Leaving has been really emotional for me. I don't really know why. It's just been such a beautiful experience to live in the home of a family and share in their lives and caring for the animals and growing things and be part of Christmas and all sorts of things. It's been way more emotional than I expected, and I think a lot of it has been, I'm going to say it's all down to much humour, but kind of due to connecting with my femininity. And so much of my life I felt like I had to be strong and pull myself together, and I've just been allowing myself to soften and allowing myself to soften and to have emotions and not pretend that I don't have emotions. And be like, yeah, I'm sad that I'm leaving. I'm also really excited because, you know, life happens and everything always changes and there's always new things to see and learn. And the son of the man that for the family where I've been living, he's learning to speak, but he signs. He's got a cochlear implant and he's learning to speak, but at the moment he signs. And he was asked, I've learned a bit of sign language as well, and he was asking me if I was going because he saw my bags, and then he asked when I was coming back. If I was coming back tomorrow, I was burst into tears. It's so weird, but I want to go back, but then, you know, what's the saying about a river? That I would say no person enters the same river twice because it's not the same river and they're not the same person. Good to go back. I'm going back to Costa Rica, but to a different part. To go back to somewhere that you've been, where you've had an incredible experience, and expect it to be the same again. You're going back with expectations, for one thing. It's a big ask, I think. And yeah, for that reason, I just don't know. I'd love to go back. It was amazing. But it's been Christmas, and there's lots of reasons why it was probably slightly different now than it would be at another time. And if I go back again, I'm not the same woman and it's not the same river. So, yeah. Who knows? The future is a mystery. Anyway, next stop, Bogotá. It's 3:20 in the morning. No sleep. We were just coming into land, and then suddenly we went up again. Just arrived in Colombia, and so far everyone's been really friendly again. It took a long time to get through customs, and the man was very nice, spoke to me in Spanish. And then one thing, you have to have an exit flight when you enter, which is the same for Costa Rica, the same for Ecuador, everywhere. So when you enter, you get a visa on landing, but you have to have an exit flight. They want a flight. So my bag was the last one going around on the carousel all by itself, and now I'm just waiting to get a bus